More disturbing details are coming to light about accused sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein's secret storage lockers. We've talked about this before, but now we're talking pornography, lab results, sex slave manuals, and by the way, the most chilling of all, it is reported these storage units were never searched by authorities. We may now have an idea about all this material that was stored in at least one unit, and I will tell you, it is disturbing. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. By the way, I gotta ask, if you're into content creation, if you're putting things out on social media, have you ever wondered how we're able to share so many of these clips on these stories so quickly? We use something called Opus Clip, okay? This is an all-in-one AI editor that makes it so easy to cut, create, and upload videos across any platform. Through AI, Opus Clip generates B-roll, it reframes footage, and it even cleans up audio. It is so easy. You just visit opus.pro/sidebar, you sign up, you upload, and in minutes you have perfectly edited clips ready to go for TikTok, Shorts, Reels. Opus Clip is your one-stop shop, and having a tool like Opus Clip means that our producers can get you viral courtroom updates instantly. This is the most powerful tool there is to share ideas and edit like a pro. So go to opus.pro/sidebar to get a free week and then 50% off. So earlier this week, we covered a report by The Telegraph that Jeffrey Epstein allegedly stashed away materials in secret storage lockers in the United States, potential evidence that was reportedly never fully recovered. And we have just learned new information about what one of those storage units may have contained, and this adds just another disturbing dimension to this entire saga. And according to the outlet, this is such a big part, it appears the FBI may have never searched them. So as we talk about, should there be further investigations? Is there evidence against anybody else? Just something to think about, right? Now, according to DOJ documents and reporting from the New York Post, Epstein had paid private investigators to remove items from his Palm Beach, Florida property, including multiple computers, films, pornographic material. And by the way, the timing is key. This was allegedly to hide all of this ahead of a 2005 police raid. Remember, around this time is when he was being investigated after the family of a teenager, a 14-year-old girl, reported that she was molested at his home. 2008, he ends up pleading guilty to solicitation of prostitution and solicitation of prostitution of a minor. This is that sweetheart deal where he avoids the federal charges. By the way, I have to say, if these allegations are true, it raises serious questions of potential liability. Hiding potential evidence where there's a pending criminal case, an active investigation. But now we have to talk about the storage locker. So the items were then reportedly kept at a nearby Palm Beach storage facility. And now an inventory reportedly shows what Epstein seemingly wanted hidden, maybe from authorities, at his Palm Beach property. And this is again as he was being investigated on child sex crimes over 20 years ago. And by the way, some of those items detectives reportedly had found receipts for during the raid, but never actually recovered them. So I want to be clear about something. The Telegraph had first reported on the Palm Beach storage locker inventory, but we found the actual document in the Epstein files from an October 2009 email that was sent to Epstein's lawyer, Roy Black, from a member of the private investigation agency that he hired. William Riley is a key member there. And this was roughly 3 months after Epstein was released from that 13-month prison sentence for solicitation charges. But I want to go through this together, okay? And I'm going to warn you right now, some of this is unsettling, to say the least. Okay. Here's how the email begins. On October 7, 2005, investigator Paul Lavery visited the residence of Jeff Epstein and, pursuant to the instructions of attorney Roy Black, removed items of potential evidentiary value from his home. These items were subsequently turned over to investigator William Riley for inventory and safekeeping purposes. By the way, before you even get into the items that were removed, according to the Telegraph, it seems authorities had known that Epstein may have done this because the outlet refers to a 2010 deposition from a civil case that was filed against Epstein by a Jane Doe. We found this transcript in the Epstein files. Here's how this questioning went. So Epstein's asked, prior to the Palm Beach police executing a search warrant on your house in October of 2005, did you direct redacted to remove at least 3 computers from your home? Mr. Pike, form. Jeffrey Epstein answers, though I would like to answer all your questions, Mr. Edwards, my attorneys, at least today, have advised me I must assert my rights under the 6th, 5th, and 14th Amendment. Due process, right against self-incrimination. Question, where are those computers today? Mr. Pike, form, answer, though I would like to answer all your questions, my attorneys have advised me I must assert my rights under the 6th, 5th, and 14th Amendment. Question, isn't it true that within that computer system were the names and telephone numbers of hundreds of underage minor females that you sexually molested? And of course, Epstein says the same kind of response. So I want to go back to the email and see what was apparently inside that storage facility. The items removed from Epstein's house were 3 different computers, including 2 Dells and 1 HP Pavilion. Okay, now before we move on, it is worth noting that copies of 2 of the computer hard drives were apparently recovered by the FBI years later, but again, remains unknown if any of the material in that storage unit was ever found by authorities or if they ever raided it. Moving on, over 2 dozen telephone directories. 1 metal HS 8mm tape with notations, including some photos, floor exercises, 2 jokes, dancing, shower, lingerie, and goodbye. Now I gotta note, hours of footage from the Epstein tapes have been released by the DOJ. You're talking lengthy periods of pornography, alleged victims taking videos in sexual positions, even children. But this specific tape may very well have been missing. I mean, in the files is a redacted email that says the following. Highly responsive material breakdown. Over 1 million images and videos were extracted from Epstein's devices. Approximately 34,000 were marked responsive. Approximately 15 to 20 images of CSAM, child sexual abuse material, less than 1%. Approximately 90% of the files are adult pornography, adult erotica, aged difficult pornography and erotica. In and of itself, it would be pretty disgusting, but you're talking about Jeffrey Epstein, so it takes on kind of a different meaning. I want to move on. 3 printed pages titled Individual Directory Listing, Massage, Florida. Okay, we know that massage work has been a common theme throughout Epstein's allegations, right? Court records show that Epstein maintained dedicated massage rooms in multiple residences, spaces that prosecutors say were used in the facilitation of child sex crimes. So the idea of having a masseuse directory, not surprising, very uneasy. Let's continue the inventory. Various different photographs, including 1 black and white photograph on white female lying nude wicker couch, 1 color photograph of white female standing nude in bedroom, 3 color photographs of 2 white females nude in the shower, 1 black and white photograph of partially nude white female with happy birthday written on it, 1 black and white photograph of partially nude white female, 1 black and white photograph of partially nude white female, 1 black and white photograph of white female, 1 color photograph of partially nude white female, 1 black and white photograph of white female written on back, Jeffrey, it's redacted, you better never forget about me. May 28th, we'll be traveling. Love, heart always, class of 2005. Now we're going to get to the magazine shortly, but throughout our Epstein Files coverage at Sidebar, we have seen a trove of emails between Jeffrey Epstein and redacted individuals where there are sexual pictures that were asked to be sent, okay? And there is a large portion of those photos that were either partially or fully redacted to protect the victims here. But you have to wonder if he ended up printing these pictures out, maybe storing them at these storage facilities. I don't know. I mean, just to give you an idea about this, we did a whole sidebar on the collection of some really gross Jeffrey Epstein emails, including this one. This is from Epstein, 2015. It says, now that I understand, try to take some nude photos, be open, brave, sexy, wild, dance, jump, have fun, live. The response back, okay, I asked my friend, so she will take some sexy photos tonight or tomorrow. You got this response from Jeffrey Epstein. I think that you should take some of yourself first. Now, I want you to be free with yourself. First, I think you should study English, go online, there are many classes, then take the TOEFL test. The photos should not be porn, but should be sexy. Do you watch porn? Redacted, for example? You want to be free without being porn, but laugh, have fun. You're going to be 22, not 14 years old. Just to put that into context for you. Keep going through this. Magazines, including Purely 18, year 2000. Only 18, Barely Legal, Hustlers, January 2000. Now look, these in and of themselves are not illegal to own, assuming the women are at least 18 years of age, though the one titled Barely Legal is obviously eyebrow raising at the very least. One book titled Complete Slave, Creating and Living an Erotic, Dominant, Submissive Lifestyle. One book titled Training with Miss Abernathy, a workbook for erotic slaves and their owners. Annual Guide to NYC Erotica, Sexy New York City 2000, 11 different boxes including labels of sex toys. By the way, when I was thinking of that one, I was thinking, is there any, hate to say it, forensic material that could have been found on those sex toys, right, if you're talking about a sexual abuse case. Now, there is such a thing as dominant and submissive dynamics when it comes to different sexual role-playing, of course, and it could be a consensual act, but remember, Epstein was jailed twice. He had the sex charges, once in the early 2000s, as I mentioned, the solicitation charges in Florida, and then he was arrested in 2019. He was in jail awaiting trial on federal charges of sex trafficking of minors and conspiracy. So seeing he allegedly had 2 books on erotic slavery and domination in and of itself is disturbing, but you can also play into the idea of sex trafficking, right? As the theme around erotic slavery includes limitations on one's autonomy, freedom of movement, power to decide matters related to their own sexual activity. Is it elite? Maybe, but I gotta call it out. And by the way, I gotta call this out too. We did a previous episode of Sidebar about these communications that raised this theory that Epstein was growing toxic plants, that these toxic plants contained scopolamine. It's tied to memory loss, confusion, which would arguably limit one's autonomy, their free will. Let's continue on. VHS tapes, including 30 VHS tapes of pornography, empty DVD of pornography, South Park Volume 5, South Park Volume 4, The Witches of Eastwick, 1/22/99 main house video, don't know why that specific date, but it's weird, Rush Hour, Madonna, The Trackers, Raging Bull, Beyond Rangoon, Not So Great Moments in Sports. Now, I mentioned earlier that the Epstein tapes released by the DOJ included long segments of pornography. Several of the websites seen in these videos contain the word teen, which, again, you have to question if these porn sites were even legal. But again, we don't know exactly what was on these pornography tapes. But again, they were inventoried, they were taken out. I do want to take a closer look at some of the movies included here because their summaries kind of stand out to me. So I want to start with The Witches of Eastwick. Here's a summary from Rotten Tomatoes, okay? 3 small-town friends, Alexandra, Cher, Jane, Susan Sarandon, and Suki, Michelle Pfeiffer, each having lost the man in their lives, are feeling unfulfilled until a furtive stranger, Daryl Van Horn, Jack Nicholson, arrives and begins courting each of them in turn. Eventually, Daryl tells them that they are witches, but as the 3 friends spend more time in his mansion, enjoying themselves and learning about their powers, they begin to worry about Daryl's ultimate intentions. Now, there are several different connections here. First, I just gotta say, Epstein could have just liked the movie, sure, but Epstein had multiple different properties. Palm Beach Mansion, Little St. James, right? Epstein's Island. The idea of this film, including women feeling unfulfilled and then a stranger comes along, begins courting them, and they begin to spend more time in his mansion, realize something's up, sounds like based on the allegations that Epstein was facing, his playbook. The Trackers, I mentioned this film. Here's a summary of the film. It's on IMDb. A rancher comes home and finds that his son has been murdered and his daughter kidnapped by a bandit gang. He hires a professional tracker with a reputation for finding his quarry to help him find the gang and rescue his daughter. Now, I just want to make a note that this movie is centered around a ranch, and we have previously covered on Sidebar all of the theories surrounding, the allegations surrounding Epstein's Zorro Ranch in New Mexico, where he allegedly sexually assaulted minors, even allegedly hid dead bodies. Now, could just obviously be a coincidence. Again, maybe he liked this movie, but knowing what is out there, unsettling coincidence. Also, by the way, the idea of a professional tracker in this film is interesting because it's alleged that Epstein at one point had set up and later removed technology connected to secret surveillance cameras from his Palm Beach mansion, fueling speculation that he was secretly spying on either house guests or victims, law enforcement, maybe everybody. Again, could I be stretching? Sure. But I mean, if it's true that he removed all of these items ahead of law enforcement's 2005 raid, this would have to mean he was onto them in some capacity. By the way, I just have to say this in that vein. You got this email from 2014 where Epstein writes seemingly to a staffer, it could be Larry Visosky, his pilot, let's get 3 motion-detected hidden cameras that record, thanks. The response back from Larry is, Jeffrey, I already purchased the motion sensor camera from the Spy store in Fort Lauderdale yesterday. I changed them last night and figuring out how to work them as we speak. It's amazing how small they are, the size of thumbnail drive, 64-hour recording, motion sensor. I'm installing them into Kleenex boxes now. I'll bring them by later today. Last movie I want to point out in the list is Beyond Rangoon, and here's a summary from Rotten Tomatoes. After the shocking murders of his husband and son, Laura Bowman, Patricia Arquette, travels to Burma and her sister Andy, Frances McDormand, to find peace. There she witnesses protests against the government and the military's violent response. When Burma enters into military lockdown, Laura loses her passport and is unable to leave the country. A professor, Leon Ko, helps her, but this makes her a target of the government as she attempts to reach the border and cross into Thailand. Now, I just want to make note that several of Epstein's accusers came from foreign countries, and it's alleged that he recruited minors internationally, some of them being aspiring models and students. So in this film, a professor coming to the main character's assistance to help escape a foreign country, and it's alleged Epstein even helped victims with visa assistance, college tuition, other career connections as part of a larger means of grooming. Am I stretching? Again, I don't know, just weird. Okay, by the way, if you thought this inventory list was done, no, there's a lot more I gotta go through. Okay, 3 Brookstone massagers, 4 unboxed sex toys, clothing items including 2 black silk thongs, 1 white silk thong, 1 silver-colored chain with clip, 1 pair of women's black hose, I'm assuming pantyhose, 1 pair of black underwear. So from the looks on this portion of the inventory list, all of the items have some intimate nature to them, right? Massagers, sex toys, lingerie. We don't know where these items came from. I go back to my point. I don't know if they have forensic material on them that could have been tested. I don't know, were they used or worn by victims themselves and they were items that Epstein was collecting? I don't know, were they items bought by him? We can really only speculate at this point. But here's a disturbing document found in the Epstein files that may shed some light. So the top of the document is redacted along with the date of birth below it, but the subject line says Royal Palm Beach High School, 2 dates, 2005 and 2004. So this would be around the time that authorities had raided his Palm Beach property. It reads, summary of activity, brought to massage Epstein by, was told to get undressed, stayed in thong, panties, provided massage wearing her thong. Epstein rubbed her private area over thong with a sex toy. Epstein then pleasured himself. Number of sessions, 1 connections to other girls, brought to Epstein's house. Now, in that email alone, there are several items of identical nature used in a sex act, and we can speculate that it was potentially a high schooler based on the subject line there, and it could have been very well taken place in Epstein's Palm Beach mansion. And when you look at documents like these, it just gives us a glimpse into what potentially took place on that property. Continuing on with the inventory, 1 frame picture of a white female, 1 desk tray with pens, pencils, tape recorder, blank tape, bullets, etc. So some of those things sound like, typical office items, though it's not clear who the woman in the picture frame that he allegedly wanted hidden. And also strange that bullets were grouped into that list. It's also unclear if these are bullets from a firearm or something else. What we do know is that a big chunk of the videos found in the Epstein files included women dancing in Epstein's property, though the women in those videos were redacted for protection purposes. And with things like a tape recorder and a blank tape allegedly taken from his Palm Beach mansion, you gotta wonder if the same types of activities were happening there as well. Moving on, identification cards, including Harvard University identification card Epstein, Florida concealed weapons permit expiring March 29th, 2010, Epstein, the Breakers identification card Epstein. So in 2005, Epstein, by the way, was given the title of Visiting Fellow at Harvard's Department of Psychology, which could explain why he had an ID card at that time. Now, the reporting indicates that Harvard kind of quietly stopped receiving donations from him in 2008. It really wasn't until 2019 that Harvard issued a message explaining the university's connection to Epstein and condemning him. But the New York Times reports that he still visited Harvard 40 more times after his 2008 conviction on those sex crimes in Florida, and even had his own office space until 2018. As for the concealed weapons permit, we can understand why he wouldn't want authorities to know he had the means to own and operate firearms if he was about to get raided on allegations of child assault, but for why he would want to potentially hide a Palm Beach resort ID card, you got to wonder what went on there that he'd potentially not want authorities to know, maybe that he was a frequent member, I don't know. I'll give you one example, and this is from 2010. 5 years later. I don't know if it has any connection, but message from Barry Zelen to Jeffrey Epstein. Leaving for New York City after being in Florida for 2 weeks. Thought I might bump into you somehow. It didn't happen. It appears that you and the press are still joined at the hip for the moment. Too bad for you. The plebeians stay entertained. I will tell you this, it is an interesting scene at the Colony on Friday night at Club 10, and the Goyim in general know how to have a good time. I like to watch, so Palm Beach is fun. But give me the keys any day of the week. The crowd at the Ferrari show at the Breakers was remarkable for its international participants. The women and men were spectacular, so were the cars. That's my report. Work awaits me. Stay sane. Going back to the inventory, you have one DVD titled Seagate Kids Reunion dated March 9th, 2005. Now, Epstein apparently grew up in Seagate, which is a private community in Coney Island, Brooklyn. So this DVD could very well be from a reunion that took place in around this time. There is an interesting email from 2009 that Epstein sent to a redacted party with the subject line, Seagate Reunion, and it reads, "The only time I can remember ever experiencing this much anticipation and curiosity about anything was when I went to the freak show in Coney Island as a teen." I don't know, maybe he's just making a point, making a joke. Freak show, anytime you mention Epstein, though, gotta call it out. All right, now I want to look at the final items on this list. 2005 calendar, miscellaneous greeting cards, announcements, personal letter, lab results, and last but not least, $2,256 in cash. Okay. As for the plans in this particular calendar Epstein allegedly wanted removed, you have to wonder what he had written down. But what is more interesting is the idea of Epstein wanting to hide lab results, right? Could they have been STD tests, pregnancy tests, drug tests? Because knowing the allegations against Epstein, including of secret children, there's just endless possibilities. You got one email from a later date in 2012, involves a lab test. It says, quote, make sure you take some form of antibiotic for the private region, a woman's private region, Cleocin or some such. You've had many men's private parts in just a few weeks. Then you go to this email, April 23rd, 2012. Jeffrey, I am a clean freak. I contact my doctors for every little thing. Not so many, always with the same and always with condom. We'll take a test. That's always useful. I'm a bit surprised to see these messages. Epstein responds back, I only want good for you. Now, when it comes to the exact amount of cash that Epstein allegedly wanted out of his Palm Beach mansion, I couldn't find anything in the files that points to that particular number around that time. But it is a little suspicious, and that it's only under $3,000, because that's not a lot of money in the grand scheme of things. So where else did he have money hidden? Maybe, I don't know. Now I know that inventory list was a lot, but I got to go through some email correspondence that was found in the Epstein files that further proves, or seems to prove, these items were taken. So this was from August 2009. It was about a month after he was released from jail in Florida. And there seemed to have been a request from Epstein's accuser, Virginia Giuffre, regarding certain evidence. So this is an email that Epstein forwards to his attorney, Roy Black, and then his attorney, Martin Weinberg. The email is from William Riley with the subject, Epstein, and it reads, Bob, over the weekend I learned that plaintiff's counsel are looking to get from me the computers and paperwork I took from Jeff's house prior to the search warrant. I have them locked in storage and would like to know what to do with them. They are no longer needed in the criminal case, I assume. Is it possible to give you these items for your review and safekeeping, or give it to Darren Indyke or back to Jeff, etc.? And Indyke was Epstein's personal lawyer and co-executor of Epstein's estate at one point. I've attached my inventory and some of the photos of the items I have. Roy Black directed that the computer drives be cloned and he would have the results of that effort. The cloning was done by a forensic specialist, Dave Kleiman. Let me know ASAP, Bill Riley. So the key there, moving computers, paperwork prior to the search warrant. I mean, an argument would be that this material was moved in anticipation of the investigation, right? And by the way, I will tell you, the Telegraph also explained what former Palm Beach Police Chief Michael Reeder said when authorities searched Epstein's Florida property in connection with that initial Florida State investigation, those charges. Quote, the place had been cleaned up, and he added how certain computer material appeared to be gone. By the way, if you want to learn more about those communications regarding storage units or lockers, we have a whole Sidebar episode out right now. It's up on Law and Crime's YouTube page where you can check it out. But that's all we have for you right now here on Sidebar. Thank you so much for joining us. As always, please subscribe on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you should get your podcasts. We're also up on NBC's Peacock as well. If you want to follow me, X, Instagram, my News Nation show, Jesse Weber Live, Monday through Friday at 11 p.m. Eastern. I'll see you next time, everybody.
This is frankly evil personified.
A pregnant young woman missing for weeks past her due date is found dead underneath a pile of leaves, her body mutilated, her baby nowhere to be found. And as shocking details of the crime start to spread, it's her own family that authorities zero in on.
It don't make sense to me either.
This is so messed up. Here's the situation that you're in, okay? If anything, you know in the back of your head, like, ain't adding up with Courtney here.
We are getting a rare look, a new look at how investigators from multiple agencies tackled this very complicated and oftentimes confusing case.
Courtney's been saying for the last couple months that she was taking this baby no matter what, no matter the measures.
You're lying. I mean, we could start there.
And given the disturbing accusations against them now, some of the comments caught on police body cam are especially chilling.
Guys, hurry up, here's gone because we need cigarettes, otherwise somebody's gonna die.
And we are gonna break all of it down for you and put it all into context and give you a full 360-degree picture of this entire case right now. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. It has been almost 6 months since a 22-year-old mother, nearing the end of her third pregnancy, preparing to welcome a little boy into the world, instead was found dead in a national forest in northern Michigan. Her baby had been cut out of her, nowhere to be found. What had been a frantic search for Rebecca Park, it morphed into a search for her baby boy, a hunt for her killer. Rebecca's sister, Kimberly, reported her missing on November 4th, saying she'd last seen her the night before at the home of their biological mother, Courtney Bartholomew, and her husband, Brad, in Boone Township. But it would be weeks later, November 25th, when Rebecca's body would be found in these leaves about 2.5 miles from Courtney's home off what's called a two-track or dirt road. She had been repeatedly stabbed. According to the medical examiner, her baby was cut out of her. It was later determined by investigators that baby was dead too, though to be clear, the body hasn't been found. In the days after Rebecca was found, the investigation really ramped up, and soon 4 of her family members would be behind bars. Now, to be clear, they are charged with different crimes here. They are accused of having different roles in this whole story. So I want to be clear about this because really the emphasis, all of the attention, the focus is on 2 people, including her own mother, who would be charged with her torture and murder. That's the kind of story we're talking about here, okay? Now, we got our hands on an investigative report that is more than 130 pages long, as well as the affidavits that were filed against the defendants, which gives us brand new insight into what the alleged perpetrators had to say for themselves. I'll give you a preview. Everybody appears to be pointing the finger at everybody else, and each one has their own story, their own narrative about a possible motive behind this brutal slaying, from an alleged revenge plot to claims of jealousy. You even have this purported scheme to steal Rebecca's newborn. And on top of all of the information they were getting from the suspects, investigators were also dealing with the rumor mill, fueled by TikTok.
Who'd you hear it from?
I heard that all on TikTok.
Dude, it was all over TikTok Live,
See,
Facebook.
I don't have none of that. I got Facebook, but Jesus Christ.
Yeah, people were going bananas out there for sure.
Was saying on TikTok about the people that were in the car. Have you seen that?
No, I've been trying to stay off TikTok.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a big case. A lot of attention to it. A lot of people had thoughts. At one point early on in the search for Rebecca, the Wexford County Sheriff's Department had to put out a statement about all of the wild theories and misinformation. Per WPBN, quote, social media rumors and online vitriol are creating significant challenges for our investigation. So how did we even get here? How did all of this happen? This is where I need to get you caught up, okay? So Courtney had given Rebecca and Kimberly up when they were young, and they were adopted into the Park family. That's based on the reporting. And since then, according to what multiple witnesses told police, they really hadn't spent much time with their biological mother. But in the days before Rebecca was reported missing, there seemed to kind of be this push to rekindle things. Rebecca, Kimberly had reportedly recently gone to Courtney's home for dinner with her and their stepdad, Brad. On the day she disappeared, Rebecca had reportedly been hanging out with Courtney, seemingly planning to get milkshakes with her, talk about baby shower plans, and there were reports that Courtney had also planned to give Rebecca an envelope containing $2,000, ostensibly to help with the baby. By the way, Rebecca was around 38 to 39 weeks pregnant at this point. She was due to give birth at any time. In fact, according to the investigative report, there was a claim she had gone to the hospital thinking she was in labor, but she was sent home. But then we go to November 4th, when no one had heard or seen Rebecca in hours. Kimberly reported her missing to the Wexford County Sheriff's Office. And according to the investigative report, Kimberly apparently told deputies that her mom, Courtney, told her that she had been with Rebecca and that they stopped by Courtney's house to pick up some detergent that Rebecca needed. And Courtney was reportedly getting ready to take Rebecca home when Rebecca, according to her, told her to wait, that someone was coming to give her a ride. According to what Courtney allegedly told Kimberly, who then told the police, Rebecca gets into this black car, possibly a Chevy Malibu, and left. Courtney had relayed she didn't see who the driver was, and Rebecca didn't say, and that was allegedly the last time she was seen. So search parties were organized. The rural area was combed. No sign of Rebecca. It would actually be her birth father and her half-brother who would find her dead body. Reading from a Michigan State Police report on November 25th, 2025 at approximately 2:20 p.m., while at the Wexford County Sheriff's Office, officers were advised that a deceased body was located on federal forest property that was covered with leaves and redacted. Officers were also advised that the biological father of Rebecca and Rebecca's half-brother located the deceased body. Think about that. Because of the unique tattoos, the body was believed to be that of Rebecca Park. Now, according to KBTX, at one point, Kimberly had reportedly said that Rebecca was inside Courtney and Brad's home when she got hit on the head and started having a seizure, eventually dying. This was one of the alleged narratives. But then you get more information that was eventually provided in an autopsy report that kind of casts doubt on this narrative. Why? Quote, an autopsy was conducted at Western Michigan University by Dr. Christine James. It was attended by Deputy Alexis Howard. There were 6 sharp force wounds on Park's back, 2 to the right upper arm, 1 to the left trapezius area, 2 to the neck, and at least 2 to the face. The right side of the face also had a laceration and an irregular wound to the cheek of unknown etiology. The wounds to the neck are described as superficial and do not penetrate muscle or harm any vasculature. Most of the wounds to the torso are contained in soft tissue. 1 to the back enters the left pleural space but misses the lung. 1 to the right side of the back enters the right pleural space and does penetrate the right upper, I think it's lung lobe or ling lobe, and caused a large pneumothorax. All major vessels are intact. It's a brutal crime. It is a brutal attack. So police interviewed Rebecca's biological dad and half-brother because they provided details about what exactly they found in the woods that day. Quote, he said they later saw a debit card next to the trail. Redacted got out to check it out and flipped it over with a leaf. He said it was fresh on top of all the other leaves. There were no leaves on top of it. Redacted flipped the card and it was found to belong to Redacted. He said he believed Redacted was dating Kimberly Park and was supposed to be in prison. He described this card was right at the, quote, crisp of the start of the trail. He said he had been in those woods cutting firewood with Brad, and Brad knows those woods as good as he does. Redacted started documenting it, and he turned around and saw her head sticking out. Redacted said, stay back, as he wasn't sure if it was a plastic mask or not. He said Redacted documented the scene, quote, real quick without bleeping anything up. They then left to get a rescue person and found 2 ladies in yellow jackets. They picked them up and took them to the scene. The 2 rescue people then went up to the scene where the body was. Now, after that, the search switched from a search for Rebecca to a search for her newborn baby. First responders reported that Rebecca's uterus had been sliced open while she was still alive, and the baby was removed. But where he had been, where he was taken, nobody knew. It was anybody's guess. So detectives started to really hone in on those closest to Rebecca. Her birth mother, Courtney, her stepfather, Brad, her sister, Kimberly, and her fiancé, Richard Fowler. All important characters, okay? So Richard, also known as Rich, was reportedly the father of Rebecca's baby, although it would later be alleged that Brad actually impregnated his stepdaughter. Yeah, we're going to get more into that claim in just a minute. But back to Rich, because this is where things get really messy. So Rebecca and Rich reportedly had been in a relationship for a while, then apparently broke up. And that is when Rich allegedly started having an affair with Rebecca's mom, Courtney. It was reported by investigators that Courtney had allegedly told them she'd been planning to divorce Brad to be with Rich. But that apparently fell apart, so Rich seemingly got back together with Rebecca, and it's unclear if Rebecca knew that her mother had allegedly been in a sexual relationship with Rich. I know. So now Rebecca and Rich are back together, engaged, they're expecting a baby, but it turns out that Rich had allegedly someone else on the side. Rebecca's younger sister, Kimberly. Yeah, Kimberly would later tell police that her relationship with Rich was complicated. Understatement, considering that she's accused of lying to investigators, misleading about Rich's alleged involvement in Rebecca's disappearance. We'll get to that. But by the end of November, Courtney, Brad, Kimberly, and Rich were all under arrest, facing a variety of charges. Again, different charges, different alleged roles and everything, but the most serious of which were filed against Brad and Courtney. And to be clear, Kimberly and Rich haven't been charged directly with the killing or disposal of Rebecca's body, okay? But according to Wexford County prosecutors at a hearing on possible pretrial release, the Bartholomews tortured and killed Rebecca Park.
In this case, we have two individuals that created a plan. They conducted research. They brought Rebecca Park to their home. They forced her into a vehicle and took her into the woods where they stabbed her, forced her to lie on the ground while they cut her baby out of her, ultimately causing her death and the death of the baby. This is as heinous and as awful a case as it could be. And I don't believe there are any circumstances in which Mr. Bartholomew should be granted any bond.
So I want to dig into this investigative report and the stories that each of the defendants told detectives, or allegedly told detectives, as they tried to sort out what happened. Now, as we go through this, I do want to say there are parts of the report that are redacted, so it's likely to protect things like people's identities or certain pieces of information or evidence that investigators don't want out in the open just yet. Obviously, this is a sensitive crime, but to give you an example, you have one section that reads, Redacted stated after Rebecca went missing, Redacted told him that Courtney was trying to blame Redacted for why Rebecca was missing. He believed this was due to Courtney Redacted. However, with the help of the affidavits that were apparently filed against the suspects and brand new body cam footage, we are seemingly able to piece together what police learned. So I want to start with the footage of Brad and Courtney Bartholomew in their home on November 25th. So at this point, they have been told that Rebecca is dead, that the baby is missing. Forensic investigators from the crime lab are on scene, so deputies are posted to keep an eye on the couple. They're apparently sitting together on a couch in the living room. Courtney appears to be on social media reading updates aloud about the daughter that she herself will later be accused of brutally killing. And Brad, arguably at times, seems uncomfortable.
If I opened my phone right now, it would be blasting with people just going blah, 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 blah. And I'm sure there's pictures floating around the internet already. I hope not.
Yeah. I hope not. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure there is, though, unfortunately. Because people they don't have the respect that they should for that kind of thing.
I agree.
Can't they get in trouble for that? Because it is an open investigation if they post something like that?
I don't know, to be honest.
I don't know, but I'm curious. Really dumb out there has got it posted. The body of Rebecca Park, 22, was discovered along a 2-track road in Boone Township. First reported missing 3 weeks ago. Rich is in jail.
They just went and talked to him.
He's in jail. It's posted.
Okay. There again, you can't believe everything else.
The family has shared that the father of Rebecca's baby has been booked into the Wexford County Jail, according to the family. He allegedly stated during a call from the jail that he is being booked in connection with a homicide. This information has not yet been officially confirmed by law enforcement. Additional Life 360 shows that Rebecca's sister, Kimberly Park, is currently at the... We will continue to share verified updates as they come in. Please keep Rebecca and her family in your thoughts during this time. What the...
But there again, it's social media. You can't believe everything you hear on it.
Rebecca Park has been found deceased, according to her father. This is not going to stop.
No, it's not. I've told you
No new credible information has surfaced according to police. Tips now with no investigation breakthroughs in Rebecca Park disappearance case. Missing pregnant woman has allegedly been found.
I don't even know why you're reading that. So I don't want to hear them reporting on things like that. I don't even want to think about it.
And in, I don't know what you want to call this, an interesting bit of foreshadowing maybe, some of the social media information suggests Brad had been arrested.
Oh, listen to this one.
No, I don't want to.
Becca has been found. She was found deceased in the backyard at Courtney's house.
Okay. In the backyard of the...
Brad has been arrested.
Hi guys. I didn't know I was in jail, did you?
You're pretty funny for being in jail.
Right. When did the jail start letting you smoke cigarettes? And drink Mountain Dew?
Now, Courtney seems to suggest that her main concern is that someone might post photos of Rebecca's body online, and that she's shocked to learn that while they were speaking with officers, Rich had been arrested.
It's ridiculous. It's never gonna stop.
Then stop looking at it.
I want to make sure somebody didn't post some stupid pictures that need to come down. You know.
No, I understand that. Still. The way for people to, I don't know, it's like TikTok, I guess. Get a thrill out of the pain of the family. That's how I feel. It's pointless to even bother with it.
He shouldn't be in jail right now.
No, he shouldn't. But he shouldn't be threatening to do self-harm either. You know?
That's gotta be hard. I can just imagine. I know what I'm going through. I can just imagine what he's going through.
Right?
But his is different than mine.
A whole lot different. It was his baby.
I gave birth to her.
Yeah.
That is my baby.
Right.
So Courtney seems to want to know how long the crime scene techs are going to take, and announces that she really doesn't want this to take all night. And Brad kind of has an interesting aside here. Take a listen.
Does it normally take this long to process a scene?
Everything's different. Every case.
But, you know, every case is different. I don't know what they're dealing with, and even what they're looking for, just because obviously this is a pretty unique situation. So,
Well, obviously, it's super serious and important to everybody, and they just want to make sure that they get it.
They want to make sure they're thorough about everything.
I wonder how many people freaking contaminated it. Hopefully. So we actually get answers. So this is going to be an all-night thing?
I don't know how long they take. I'll be honest, I've never had to deal with something like this, so I have no idea how long.
Because the guy that just come in, I don't know who he was, but he's like, you want to stay overnight? And I'm like, overnight? That's going to be an all-night thing all morning?
Right. So I do know the lab is here now. It sounds like they're starting to.
Here?
Yeah, it sounds like they're starting to get some stuff around. So soon, and they'll probably be the ones to ask that question too, because obviously they should have an idea how long it'll take.
Right.
I couldn't even begin to guess.
Yeah, because I don't want to be up all freaking night.
I don't want to be up all night. And we're almost out of tobacco, so.
Oh, hell no.
Hell yeah.
They better hurry up and get
They
this
need to
stuff.
hurry up and get it done because we need cigarettes, otherwise somebody's gonna die. Probably me, but somebody's gonna die.
Isn't there tobacco in that hole?
Very little.
Oh, hell no. We have cigarettes out in the car. They're still out there.
There's very few rolled out in the car. There's like 2. Don't take all night, please.
Right.
Of course, I'll let them do what they need to do.
Right, I know that. That's what I'm saying. Just please don't take all night. I will gladly
You
open
gotta
it up.
remember them searching my house like that and using that luminol, making sure there isn't blood.
Yeah,
Also clears us.
I know. I know it does. And that's what
And they
I'm...
ain't gonna find it.
And I'm gladly be happy to have them do this. Get it. That way I don't have to worry about anything. You don't have to worry about anything because there's nothing they're going to find anyways, but still.
Yeah, Courtney's still appearing to scroll social media and eventually gets a call from someone with an update on Rich. That person is apparently hearing secondhand that Rich allegedly, quote, didn't show any remorse and didn't ask about the baby when he was told Rebecca died. And the caller seems to relay this to Courtney, who seems shocked. Now, eventually, the forensic technicians are ready to take photos of the inside of the house.
The lab's ready to come in, but they can't have anybody in here when they do it. All they're going to do is take some pictures real quick and then be out of here. We're not going to do searching or anything like that. There's nothing necessarily that we're looking for, but they just want to document the inside of this with photographs. Okay. I don't know, can you get along with your car for a little bit and sit in that for like 10 minutes or something like that? You know what I mean? Just long enough for them to process it.
What about the dogs?
Is that that's outside?
Yes, that's
Yeah.
outside.
There for right now.
Okay.
There's no dogs in here right now?
No, they're all...
It's just perfect. 2 dogs that were out there that were in here?
Yeah.
Just 2?
Yes.
Okay,
Perfect. 2
So
dogs.
if we can, so if we can have you come on out for 10 minutes, something like that.
Okay,
whatever.
we go ahead and warm the car up.
Yeah, that's what
Sorry,
I'm saying.
Give me just a second.
Oh, in the car, which is good.
Do you have a warrant?
Yes,
Yep.
Can I see it?
yep, we'll get that for you. Not a problem.
Yep.
Now the truck's running, so it'll warm up.
Okay, cool. All right, you guys can work on that, and then we'll get them in and out of here as fast as we can, and then we'll be out of
That's
here.
not a
Um,
problem.
This carpeting that's right here, underneath here, it can be moved.
Okay.
There's not a problem there.
Okay.
Because people have put it out there that everything, the carpet's been ripped up or whatever.
Okay.
So you guys can pull it up to where you can see.
It's easier on that
It's
side.
easier over there. You might have to move the chair and the crate a little bit, pull that corner back.
Okay, I'll let them know that.
Because I would rather just know that you can look underneath it, everything, not have any problem.
And we'll
You don't have
actually
to put it
give you a
back.
copy of the search warrant.
You don't have to put the rug back or anything. I'll put it back.
Sounds good. All right, yeah, as soon as you guys are out there, we'll get started.
Okay.
I want to zero in on Bradley Bartholomew right now, okay? So the now 48-year-old apparently told detectives that he and Courtney had been together for 8 years. They lived together most of the time in her Boone Township home with their teenage son from a different relationship, though Brad tells police that he also lives part-time in a tent a few miles away. So Brad reportedly has a long criminal history, according to prosecutors, which includes everything from forgery and driving without a license to attempted larceny, receiving stolen property. Oh, and Brad is also apparently a registered sex offender. According to Michigan's registry, he was convicted of criminal sexual conduct with a person between the ages of 13 and 15 in 2011, and in 2017, he was convicted of possessing child sexual abuse material. Now, Courtney and Brad had previously been questioned by police about Rebecca's disappearance before her body was found. And we have learned that Brad allegedly failed his polygraph. To be clear, in Michigan, the results of a polygraph exam, they aren't necessarily or typically admissible in court as far as we understand, but they are a powerful tool in investigations to confront suspects about possible lies. So on November 25th, after delivering the bad news, a Michigan State Police detective asks Brad to come out to his car to talk in private, and his body cam is rolling. Now, to be clear, some of the names and other details were muted by the law enforcement agencies before they sent us the raw video, but just take a look.
I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions, and I know a lot of the stuff you've already been asked, but I just need to clarify in my own mind. Like I said, I don't know you, but I want to make sure that I feel like what you're telling me is 100% the truth.
Right.
Okay, so tell me about your polygraph.
I failed my polygraph.
What were the questions?
If I knew where Rebecca was or had knowledge of where she was. If I've hurt Rebecca or had knowledge of who hurt Rebecca, they word them very weird.
Now, one of the reasons that law enforcement really honed in on Brad and Courtney is because they were apparently the ones who found Rebecca's cell phone on a dirt road not far from their home. And that phone apparently went through quite a few hands before it made it to investigators. So according to Brad, Rich was able to access the phone's location and sent a screenshot of it.
Explain to me how the phone was located. Walk me through it.
The phone was located. I got here. Courtney was in the escape. She showed me a photograph which labeled this road in 26. Okay? And you can see where our driveway is on it also. It shows you the driveway on it. It was like a satellite photo. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, you realize that's across the road? She's like, where? I said, just drive over here and we'll go down 26. She's like, okay. So she drove across, and the only two track that shoots off in the direction that it curved off to from here is the one off to the right. There's only one down there that curves off to the right. And that would be the best place to start. Seems how I figured that's the only place you could get a car down in, and I don't see her walking very far. Mm-hmm. She's 38 weeks pregnant at that time. She wasn't walking very far. Rebecca wasn't. So I started walking down that. I got out and I walked the trail. I stayed in the dirt from the tires. I stayed in them tracks. I walked it, and when I got up to the little bit of a clearing and a curve, a little bit of a curve, her phone was sitting right there, just about that far off from the dirt trail that I was walking in. I stopped, I pointed at it, I picked it up, and I handed it to Courtney in the window of the truck with the escape. Courtney shut it off. I took over driving because she can't drive very. Doesn't like to drive. She can, she has a license and everything, but she doesn't like to. Rebecca's boyfriend. Mm-hmm. She has a code on her phone. We all know this because Kimmy would always state, we both have codes on our phones. We both know each other's codes. He knows Rebecca's code. We took it over to him so that he could get in it so we could see who she talked to last. He said it was too dark. He couldn't get in it. Into it at that point in time. He couldn't see it. Courtney and I, we backed out the driveway and left. I guess later that day, Kimberly went and got it. Hooked it to her laptop computer and supposedly corrupted her computer. And that's when I come to you guys, well, to the county.
Yeah, you can tell by the look on the detective's face that seemingly he's doing his best to follow Brad's story, but he might be getting information that conflicts with what he's been told by others. Why do I say that? Because law enforcement, for example, had been told that Courtney told Kimberly about the black car. But Brad claims, right, it was the other way around. And in fact, according to Brad, Kimberly herself was in that car. Again, at least seemingly according to Courtney.
Courtney was supposed to go over and pick Rebecca up to take her out to get ice cream.
Okay.
And to give her $2,000. And then Rebecca sat there and said that she needed Tide Pods for laundry because she was nesting for the baby. Wanted to get laundry and everything clawed up, everything done that needed to be done. Which I'm going to do it all the time, unfortunately. If you have kids, you know this. I'm sure. And they came here, I guess. They sat in the driveway. They talked. Courtney went in because Courtney says they were planning a baby shower or something. And we did. We went out and got a bunch of baby stuff for her. So I know that she really wanted to keep this baby, Rebecca did. And I was hoping she'd get her stuff together. Had the baby. And when I was told that she got into a black car and she told her mom that she'd be back.
Where was the black car?
I don't know for sure. I wasn't here.
Where were you?
I was in my tent.
Where's your tent?
Over in Harrietta.
So you're all the way over in Harrietta?
Yep. I've been here the last almost 3 weeks now because of the other thing that's going on.
Where did Courtney say the car was?
Across the street. They backed
Across
out the
the
driveway.
street?
Yep, they backed out the driveway, and she went to go pull forward, and Rebecca's like, hold on, Mom, I had somebody coming to get me, supposedly. Is what Courtney was telling me.
So she got out of Courtney's car
Yes.
to get in this car?
Yes.
And what you're telling me now is that Kimberly now says that she was in that car?
Yes.
And she told Rebecca that, or, sorry,
Told Courtney
she
that.
told Courtney that last night.
No, she told her that Saturday.
Saturday night.
Saturday. When she came and got her stuff out of her truck.
Well, whose car did she say it was?
She didn't. Courtney didn't tell me whose car she said it was. If she even said it, I don't know.
Okay.
It don't make sense to me either.
This is so
It
messed
does
up.
not
Here,
make
okay,
sense to
so
me.
here's the situation that you're in. Okay, if you really are in a tent over in Harrietta, and I'm not saying that you're lying, I'm just saying you got to think about things from my standpoint
It's
too.
cold.
Yeah.
I have Carhartts and I have everything.
Yeah, but
I'm wearing
but
thermals
what
right
I'm
now
saying
even.
is, you know a lot more than what you are reporting to me, because there are things that are being said that I know have been said by Courtney, and there's also things that Kimberly's reporting, and then there's also things. And this circular thing is going on where people are starting to accuse, and some of it actually makes sense.
Right.
Some of it does, but some of it doesn't. So what I don't want to happen
Right.
is I don't want to see you get falsely accused of being a participant in a homicide when that's actually not the part that you were involved in.
Right.
Okay, because I don't believe for a minute that you weren't involved at all. Okay, I've been doing this. No. You don't understand. Like, way too long. Okay, I've been doing this job for too long. Okay, and I've talked to a lot of people and I've heard a lot of stories. But I don't.
Stories.
Yeah, that is a key word. It's a key word. But there are details that you're giving me too that are true. So what I want to know right now is what you're willing to tell me what your involvement was, and then I can decide if I feel like you're culpable for anything, like you're actually guilty of anything. Because if all you did was help out after, then right now would be the time to tell me that. I'm not making any promises. I'm just telling you that if there was ever a time, like, I'm like the last person that you get to talk to.
So are you telling me I need to have a lawyer?
I'm not telling you
what
you
you're
need a
telling me
lawyer
right now?
because you are not under arrest. If you were under arrest, you would certainly have the right to have an attorney present and have a lawyer, and you'd be Mirandized. You're not under arrest. There's a reason why you're not under arrest, because I need your help.
Okay, but
And I don't think you committed this homicide. But that's the biggest
definitely
reason.
didn't commit no homicide.
No. But unfortunately, you know things. There are things that you know that the police haven't been actually told. And there are details that you can give me that would significantly help our investigation, and it would also significantly help you not be implicated as a primary suspect in this.
the only thing she's told me is that the black car pulled up, that she supposedly got in the car at 8:30, that now it's supposedly Kimberly that was in the car and sent it to Kimberly, and then Kimberly sent it to her mom.
Did she tell you that Kimberly was on a bus somewhere and she was having her baby in a different state? I mean, come on, man. Like, you had to have heard this.
I heard that she went to Tennessee.
Yeah.
I heard she went
Who'd
to
you hear it from?
Arizona. I heard that all on TikTok.
Okay, but Courtney's saying the.
But see, I'm not always here.
Okay, all right, man. Like, if you don't want to look like you're involved in this, then you need to tell me what you know. Like, I'm actually trying to help you. It might not seem like that right now, but I'm the one who's coming in saying, okay.
It don't look good for Courtney, and I'll admit that. I told her that right from the get-go.
So who helped her get rid of the body then?
I don't know if she did anything.
Well, what do you mean? She was the last person with her and her phone's across the road. Of course she did something. And then her body was transported and dumped up the road. I mean, this is like textbook, like, no. Too many mistakes were made.
Right.
Like, I'm just saying, like,
right.
This is not good. And you live here with her. And
I don't live with her.
Okay,
though.
whatever. Okay, so you live in a tent, but I mean, do you ever sleep here?
I have been the last few.
Yeah, I mean, like, are you guys married?
Yeah, we're married.
Okay, so this is your wife.
Yeah,
I mean, like,
that's my
okay,
wife.
so you're like, you're trying to like distance yourself from her, and it's just like, I know you guys. It sounds like you guys got a relationship.
We do.
Like, I'll agree with that.
We do.
But at the same time, you're still here, man, after 8 years.
So a few minutes later, the detective interrupts Brad to ask him why Courtney, his wife, would essentially be trying to make him look guilty, right? So we've cross-referenced official records with this body cam, and the name that has been muted out appears to be Rich. Again, Rebecca's fiance, and by the way, as I mentioned before, I don't know, alleged lover of Courtney and Kimberly.
I walked around with him, and he walked the whole perimeter, Grandma's property and this property, and he walked.
Why would she be trying to make you look guilty?
I don't know. And
I know, but does she think you did it?
who?
Courtney?
No, she doesn't. She tells me that there's no way I did anything.
Because she knows who did it.
Right. This is my opinion.
Tell me who did it.
I don't know who did it.
Okay, but tell me who you think did it.
I think her
Okay.
is who I think did it. Dark also before.
Okay.
One that broke the ignition out of it, because the ignition broke out of it. Aware of. But I'm not here all the time. I have been since Rebecca got missing. I've been here. But before that, no.
Why do you think they did it?
Jealousy?
Explain that to me.
The fact that Rebecca was with me, so get rid of two birds with one stone, per se,
Yeah.
by telling them that I did it.
So basically, they each get rid of
They're
the person that they don't want to be with.
Right.
So they
Can be together.
and they'll do everything in their power to point the finger at you now,
Which
because she's
see-
already out of the picture.
So based on this interview, it seems Brad is putting the blame on Courtney and Rich. I think that's a fair argument. But he really doesn't stop there, because he seems to bring Kimberly into the mix too. According to an affidavit, Brad had allegedly told an investigator just one day before this that he was, quote, present during a dinner with Courtney Bartholomew, Rebecca Park, and Kimberly Park on Saturday, November 1st, 2025. During this time, Bradley said that Kimberly had a private conversation with him asking about the 2 tracks behind the house, and then Kimberly stated she needed to get Rebecca, quote, out of the picture. November 30th, Courtney and Brad were arrested. They were separated. They were interrogated. Now, at first, Brad kind of seems to stick to his story that his wife and Rich were the killers. You go to the affidavit, quote, he said that Courtney was talking to him about how she and Rich did something horrible, but she wouldn't tell him. He claimed that once the story of Rebecca came about of her being missing, he began to put 2 and 2 together. Bradley reported that Courtney threatened that if he said anything, she'd make his life hell. But eventually, Brad allegedly admitted that he and Courtney were the ones to drive Rebecca out to the woods. But he is seemingly adamant that he didn't do anything violent, that it was all Courtney. The affidavit reads, Bradley described that the actual stabbing began when, quote, Courtney just grabbed the knife and started stabbing at her. The knife had been down on Courtney's right. He said she stabbed her in the chest as far as he knew, but said he jumped out of the truck when Courtney started swinging, so he wasn't sure. Now, the charging documents also reveal that Courtney might have planned to keep the baby for herself. That's an allegation. According to Brad, Courtney seemingly wanted a child, and they couldn't adopt because of his sex offender status. So the affidavit says Bradley agreed that he believes that Courtney is capable of slicing open her own flesh and blood and taking a baby out. He agreed that Courtney is obsessed with wanting another baby in her care and custody. He also agreed that it was a good possibility she could attack Rebecca and cut a baby out of her. So this investigative report indicates that the baby didn't survive this brutal attack on his mother. And Brad allegedly told detectives that he never heard the baby cry, never saw the baby move. He claimed that the child's body went back with them to the house, where he was put into a small cooler bag and eventually put into a dumpster. His body has never been found.
All right, so you were going to show us the dumpster where the... Okay.
And in just a minute, we are going to show you the body cam video of Brad seemingly directing a detective to the places that he allegedly dumped evidence, as well as where Rebecca died. Okay, so we'll get to that in a second. But that was Brad's story, right? What about Courtney? So we haven't received her recorded interviews from investigators yet, but charging documents seem to lay out disturbing allegations against her. According to Courtney, her daughter's torture and murder had been at the hands of Brad, and that she couldn't stop him. You see the finger pointing? So she apparently told investigators about this alleged feud between her husband Brad and, again, her supposed one-time lover Rich. Courtney seems to claim that Rich had reported Brad to law enforcement for allegedly violating rules related to his sex offender status, and she reportedly told police that Brad cooked up this plan to hurt Rebecca as a way to punish Rich. Now, Courtney also allegedly said that Rebecca's baby had actually been fathered by Brad, not Rich. To be clear, there was no further information about that claim, but my gosh. Per this affidavit, Courtney claims that she confronted Brad the day after the crime lab photographed their home, and she says he launches into this expletive-laden tirade saying Rich messed with the wrong person. Quote, she agrees this is all a revenge plot. Courtney said that when she asked him what he did to her daughter, Bradley said, I slit her bleeping throat, deserved it. She goes on to say that he said Rich deserved it too, and it just happened to be your daughter that's going to pay for it. Courtney said when she asked about her grandson, she said Bradley said, oh, I stuck him in a cooler, stuck him in a trash bag, threw him in the trash. Now, many of Courtney's answers indicated that this was some sort of premeditated plot. And investigators wanted to know why Courtney, if this is true, if these allegations are true, didn't do anything to stop Brad before it went this far. Here's a sample. Quote, revisiting the conversation she had with Bradley a month prior about C-sections, she reported that he looked it up on his phone. When asked why they were having that discussion, Courtney answered, because that's what he said was going to happen. She said he told her he was going to cut the baby out of Rebecca right in front of Rich. Courtney said she brushed it off. Now, Courtney reportedly told investigators that Brad forced her and Rebecca to ride in the truck out to the woods. And she apparently claims that he's the one who attacked Rebecca and that she had to make the quick decision to get a scalpel out of the truck's glove box and cut out the baby, even saying that Rebecca, who was still alive, told her to do it. From the affidavit, Courtney said she never stabbed Rebecca. She was only responsible for trying to save her grandson. When asked if she thought she should have tried to save her daughter, Courtney said she couldn't. So Courtney claims that she planned to turn the baby boy over to the authorities so he could be returned to her father, Rich, but when he didn't survive, he was placed into this soft-sided cooler bag. Now, I mentioned that Brad seemingly at one point took these two detectives to the scene of the crime. Remember, it's captured on tape? But he's kind of vague about how and why exactly he, Courtney, and Rebecca ended up in this wooded area. And he also apparently showed them locations of at least two dumpsters where he allegedly disposed of the knife that was used to stab his stepdaughter.
First section here where you pull up and go to the right. Go to the right. And that's the dumpsters in right there. I
So first right and the dumpster right here on the left. The GFL dumpster? Okay. And how did you pick this particular apartment complex and that dumpster?
My wife used to live here. And she said fall into the first one.
Okay. And when was it that you disposed of that knife?
Wednesday,
Okay.
the 5th.
Wednesday the 5th. Okay. So it was a couple days after everything happened?
Correct.
Okay.
And just pulled around like you just did and then just stopped and threw it in there.
And what time of day was that?
That's probably about 3:30.
In the afternoon?
Yeah.
Okay. And was it in anything?
No.
Okay. In a towel or in a baggie or anything? Just
No. Just,
okay. And describe the knife to me.
It was like a hunting knife.
Okay, with a foldable blade or
No.
fixed? Okay. About
Fixed
how long?
blade. Probably about 5 inches.
Okay. Was it your knife?
No.
Okay. Do you know whose it was?
It was Courtney's.
It was hers? Okay. Do you know what brand it was?
No, I do not.
Okay. All right.
She threw it in the dumpster.
I did.
Was there any blood or anything on it that you could see when you threw it in there?
I wasn't paying attention
You
to it.
don't know? Okay.
I just wanted it out of my hand.
Yeah, there's a lot of confusion surrounding the timeline in Brad's version of events because he claims at one point that one vehicle, the couple's Escape, was out on the trail, and at other times says it was this Ford pickup. And the detective questions Brad about that.
So Rebecca wasn't with you when you came out here in the Escape?
Correct.
Where was she?
She was already out here, passed away. Deceased. I have a feeling. She was already out here.
Okay. So you brought the pickup truck out here with Rebecca.
Yes.
Okay. Did what you did.
Yes.
Went back to the house.
Yes.
And then you're saying you came back out here again in the Escape?
Yes.
Okay. What did you do when you came back out here in the Escape? Okay. All right. So,
And Rebecca was still alive then.
so Rebecca was out here by herself for a long time?
No. Probably 10 minutes. 15 minutes.
Okay. Could she not run? Could she not get away? Was she?
She's pregnant. She was 38 weeks.
Right.
pregnant.
You guys left in the pickup truck and came back. Why did you switch?
Because Courtney wanted the towel and a blanket.
Okay.
That was left in the Escape.
What was Courtney like on the way back when you guys went to the Escape? What was her demeanor like?
Frustrated
At what?
at Rebecca.
Just in general or about something specific?
In general,
Did she think that she had killed her?
not at that point, no. Because she feels like the girls don't appreciate her as a mom.
Did you guys talk on the way back to the house?
No,
You didn't say anything at all to each other?
I didn't want to know what was going on for sure. I jumped out. It was in gear still going down the trail.
That looks very familiar.
That one right there?
No, back a little more. It's actually a stump that's standing up. Right there. That one. Looks very familiar.
So you think it happened right here?
I think so.
Okay. And so, after she was killed, she was left right there near that stump and then
Yes.
covered up with leaves?
Yes.
Okay.
And when the detectives questioned Brad about the clothes that he had been wearing on the night of the stabbing, he seemingly makes such a chilling comment, claiming that the clothes Courtney was wearing when she was arrested are allegedly the same clothes she was wearing the night of the murder. So then you go to Kimberly, Rebecca's younger sister and the one who reported her missing. She would end up under arrest as well. However, the charges that she faces are connected to the alleged obstruction of the investigation, that it's reportedly trying to mislead police. On November 25th, after Rebecca was found, that same detective who had interviewed Brad also interviewed Kimberly outside the home where she was staying. And one of the things that he immediately focused on was all the rumors that were swirling on social media about the case, because Kimberly had reportedly participated in several TikTok live streams, according to the affidavit that was filed against her. And the affidavit also says on Saturday, November 22nd, 2025, Kimberly Park made statements on a social media live broadcast that she was aware of information that Courtney Bartholomew and her husband, Brad Bartholomew, had something to do with Rebecca Park's disappearance. Detective Peace Corps interviewed Kimberly Park on the same date, and she reported that Courtney and Brad had struck Rebecca Park in the head to cause her to have a seizure, and when they were unable to revive Park from the seizure, Brad contacted a friend who came and picked up Rebecca Park's body and took it away. Park said that Brad had said something about a swamp. But when this other detective interviewed her days later, her story had seemingly changed.
What do you think happened to your sister?
I honestly think Courtney and Brad are responsible.
Why do you think that?
Because of Courtney's comment that she wanted that baby no matter what.
Okay. I'm sorry. She wanted that baby no matter what?
She was well convinced she was taking that baby regardless.
Okay, so Courtney wanted to take Rebecca's baby, right? Okay. And how did she say that? Is it something that she posted, or she said that?
Straight to mine and Rebecca's faces.
Okay.
We were out there Saturday for this dinner.
So how was she going to take it? Did she say how she was going to take this baby?
She never said how she was going to. But when I told Peace Corps the other day that Courtney and Brad were responsible, I had a feeling she was nearby.
You had a feeling she was nearby? Like geographically nearby? Like close to the location you were at?
Close to Courtney and Brad's
house? Okay. Why did you tell Courtney that Rebecca left? Like, went to Tennessee?
I never said that to Courtney.
You never said that to Courtney?
No.
Okay.
Courtney was starting a rumor about it.
Okay. Did you ever tell Courtney that you were in the car that picked her up?
No. That's the car that I drive.
Okay. But you never told her that you were in the car that picked her up from the house?
No, Courtney was trying to say I was. I never was. I was here. I talked to my baby daddy and I went to bed. I got up for work the next morning.
Never left the house?
Courtney called me while I was here saying that Becca got in a car with somebody.
So Courtney would allegedly later tell a detective that she made up the story about the black car, according to the incident report. It's unclear whether Kimberly knew Courtney was allegedly lying or not when she relayed that information, but in body cam footage, Kimberly can be seen telling the detective that this is a frame job.
The other question I have a lot of other questions for you. Like I just wanted to figure out why Courtney would tell me that. Is that too bright for you? Why she would tell me that?
Because she wants to frame me.
She wants to frame you?
Mm-hmm.
You reported to the police that your mom said that she hit your sister over the head. Did you make that report?
I made the report and that's what they told me that they did.
Who told you that?
Courtney and Brad, straight out.
Courtney and Brad told you what? Tell me what they told you straight out.
That they were the ones that hit her. They were the ones that, from what they said, murdered her. And they were taking the baby, and now they were just playing this game of how to get rid of this baby, get rid of her.
When did they tell you that?
The day after she disappeared. But they threatened me and my daughter to stay silent.
Okay.
My adoptive mom promised me that nothing was going to happen to my daughter, so I could tell.
Okay, so you're telling me that Courtney and Brad confessed to you that they killed Rebecca.
And Courtney's been saying for the last couple months that she was taking this baby no matter what. No matter the measures.
You're lying. I mean, we could start there. Okay? That's not true. They did not tell you that. Okay? So we're going to have to get to a point where we can actually talk to each other and just tell the truth. Because you want truth from me and I want truth from you. And we're at a point right now where you're in some, okay? You're not under arrest or anything like that, but I need to get to a point where if Kimmy is going to be honest with me, I'll do whatever I can to help Kimmy out if she's not the one that actually killed her. Okay?
I wouldn't do that to
Okay. All right. But I can tell you right now that Courtney and Brad are not going to confess a homicide to you. That doesn't happen.
I don't know if it was a confession or...
No, it didn't happen. Okay, we're not going to play games right now. I didn't come here to play figure it out detective. I've been doing this for 30 years now. Okay? So, let's start from the beginning and you tell me what happened. Okay? And then I'll figure out how culpable you are and what, if anything, I can do to help you. But I can tell you right now, honesty is the only thing that's going to help you right now. Telling me a bunch of lies about Courtney and Brad admitting that they did this, that ain't going to work. People that do this, they don't tell people. Okay? I know you were involved. You need to tell me to what degree. We have a lot of evidence right now. Okay? I'm not going to tell you what the evidence is because that's not how the police work. The police work like this. You tell me something, I'll tell you something. And then I'll do what I can to help you out. Can't make you any promises, but I need to know if it was an accident and not something that you intended to happen, or if you were just physically present when it did happen. Now is the time to talk to me. Because this is your last chance.
And the detective confronts Kimberly with the information about her being in this sexual relationship with Rich. Again, her sister's lover, fiance, boyfriend. And she seemingly admits, yes, it's true. And then allegedly claims that Rich killed Rebecca and the baby so that he and Kimberly could be together. Now, as a reminder, Rich's name, or this name, appears to be muted in the body cam video.
I knew she knew anyways, from the way he acted. But I never hurt my sister.
Your sister?
I don't know if he did or not. He shut me out ever since she left that night. He refuses to talk to me. The only time he ever talks is sending me threatening messages.
I know that you're involved in this.
I'm not involved in this. I would never hurt my sister. I love her way too much.
Then who did it?
I don't know who did it.
So the detective lets Kimberly go inside the house to use the bathroom. And when she comes back out, she is immediately put into handcuffs.
Put your hands behind your back.
Yeah.
This one, then we'll flow back. Yeah. Okay. This is right here. Careful. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. So you're under arrest because you can't knowingly provide false information to the police when they're investigating a missing person complaint that results in a homicide. Okay? So you can't do that. So that's a no-no. So I'm not talking about you not being honest with me in the beginning. Okay? I'm talking about the information that you intentionally provided to the detective on the behalf of, I guess, I don't know, do we call him your boyfriend? I mean, it kind of sounds like you guys were boyfriend, girlfriend. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to Mirandize you now, okay? Because now you're under arrest. And if it makes sense to you, I had to arrest you. I didn't want to arrest you right now, but I had to arrest you based on the information that you gave me, okay? I couldn't not arrest you now that you told me that you intentionally told the police a false story to cover for him because you guys, were doing this thing to where you were going to eventually be together. Okay, I wouldn't be doing my job as a police officer. Okay, do you understand these rights that I've explained to you, Kimmy?
Yes.
Okay, so I just want to talk to you about what we already talked about, okay? So are you willing to give up these rights and answer my questions at this time?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Why did you tell Courtney that you were in the car?
I never said I was in the car to her. She's
Okay.
the last person I'd rather talk to.
So she lied to me.
Yes, she did.
Okay. Why did you intentionally give the detective, do you know which detective I'm talking about?
Mr. Peace Corps.
Why did you intentionally tell Mr. Peace Corps that Courtney was involved in this? Why did you do that? Or why did you tell her that Courtney and Brad did this?
And if I didn't, I was gonna end up like her.
And what did you interpret that to mean, that you would end up like her?
Just disappear.
Just
With no explanation.
Just disappear with no explanation. And when you refer to her, who are you talking about?
My sissy,
Your sissy is who?
Rebecca.
Rebecca. Okay. Now, what types of discussions and plans did you have about getting her out of the picture so the two of you could be together?
The only thing was dump her and leave her.
Dump her body?
No. Like break up with her.
That's the only thing you said to him?
Yes.
Okay. So now, when she went missing, say to you after she went missing?
He didn't say anything.
No, I mean, what did he tell you when you asked him about it?
All I said was I took care of it. Don't worry about it.
He said, I took care of it. What did you interpret that to mean? What did you think that meant?
I thought he just broke up with her. And she just randomly dipped out. Not he killed her. He wouldn't tell me what happened. His only answer, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You don't need to know anything, so you can't go down for it.
Well, he told you to lie for him to the police. That was a horrible idea of his, because now it got you in trouble. That's why you're sitting here in handcuffs. So if he told you other things, I mean, he really screwed you over here. He even left your baby's daddy's card at the scene. Like, I mean, tell me that's not intentional. Like, that looks not so good. Like he's trying to, make it look like it was somebody else, where it turns out the guy whose card it was couldn't even have did it because he's in prison, but his baby's mama isn't in prison, and it points the finger back at you. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, he made it look like you were involved.
I wasn't involved. I don't know what he did. If he would have told me that he did something to her, I would have instantly gone to the police. But he wouldn't give me a straight up answer.
Now, Kimberly says that she wants to continue her interview with the detective that she spoke to originally, Detective Peace Corps, so they take her to meet him. That part of the interview wasn't released on video, but here is what she apparently or reportedly said per an affidavit. Quote, Kimberly Park identified that on Tuesday, November 4th, 2025, while she was at Richard Fowler's home, he told her that he killed Rebecca Park and that he wanted to protect Kimberly by not sharing details with her. Park identified that during a different conversation with Fowler, he had told her that something went wrong while trying to cut the baby out of Rebecca. She reported that Fowler told her that another man had helped him with Rebecca. Park said that Fowler had also been encouraging her to mislead the investigation, and it was the reason she was sharing misleading information on social media live broadcasts. Park told Detective Peace Corps that Fowler was becoming concerned about the investigation getting close to him, and that on the Thursday or Friday before Saturday, November 22nd, 2025, Fowler assisted her with the creation of her accusation that she made to Detective Peace Corps during the interview on that date. So what happens? Kimberly is charged with tampering with evidence, lying to police, and making a false report. She apparently posted a portion of a $5,000 bond released on December 3rd. This is per 9 and 10 News. Back to Richard Fowler, right? How does he fit into all this? Remember, he was the first one of the group to be arrested in connection with this homicide investigation. However, as I mentioned, he has not been implicated directly in the death of Rebecca Park. He faces different kind of charges. According to an interview that outlet Michigan Live did with Rich's father, Rich was arrested when he reported for a required sex offender registry check-in. Oh yeah, Rich, like Brad, is also reportedly a registered sex offender. So the registry website shows 5 convictions for sex crimes dating all the way back to 2003. The convictions include criminal sexual conduct in the 3rd degree with a person between the ages of 13 and 15, accosting a child for immoral purposes, and criminal sexual conduct against an incapacitated victim. But the charges that he faced at the end of November reportedly had to do with drugs. Yeah, so Rich would end up being arraigned on 2 counts of delivery, manufacture of a controlled substance, specifically methamphetamine, this is according to a felony complaint, and for being a habitual offender, meaning he has more than 3 felony convictions on his record. So the investigative report includes these notes from a couple of interviews with Rich. So on the day that Rebecca's body was found, the document says, quote, redacted explained that a lot of what he knows is because of what Kimmy and Courtney have told him. He said he didn't know his fiancée was dead until today. Now, Rich reportedly agreed to do a polygraph, which we have since learned from the police report he allegedly failed. And at the same time, investigators apparently got word of Kimberly's arrest and her accusation that it was Rich and Courtney who killed Rebecca. And that's when Rich was first initially taken into custody on suspicion of murder, but he was never actually officially charged with that crime. So a few weeks after his arrest, according to court records, Rich posted a portion of a $25,000 bond and was released. So for now, Rich and Kimberly appear to be both out on bond. Their connections to this case have certainly kept them in the spotlight, but it is Brad and Courtney where the real focus is on, right? They're both locked up without bond. They both face charges of first-degree murder, felony murder, torture, unlawful imprisonment, assault with intent to cause a miscarriage or stillbirth, and removing a dead body. And if convicted, they face mandatory sentences of life in prison. Now, the Bartholomew's defense attorneys have called out the state in court several times over the last few months, saying, for example, in January that they still hadn't received any discovery in this case from prosecutors, material evidence. And then in March, they requested that both defendants receive mental competency evaluations to determine if they understand the charges against them and whether or not they can participate in their own defense and whether or not this case can proceed towards trial. The defense, by the way, has also reportedly requested that a temporary hold be put on releasing Rebecca's body to her family in order to give time for an independent autopsy. So that's interesting because that's where you get into this idea of maybe there's an alternative cause of death, okay? Rebecca's adoptive mother, though, Stephanie, told 9 and 10 News that she understood the delay in making final arrangements for Rebecca. Quote, I understand them extending her release because I want to have all the evidence for both sides so that it can't be thrown out over some technicality that had to do with it. That body is not her. She's up in heaven doing gardening or whatever she wants to do. That body, it's just evidence. That's all that it is now. And Stephanie says she hopes to have a public memorial service for Rebecca sometime this spring. 9 and 10 News reports that the Bartholomew's are due back in court in mid-May, when we could maybe learn new updates on the progress that this case is making. And I'll just say this, I'll end on this point. No matter who the killer is or what their alleged motive was behind such a horrific attack, the consequence is the same. A young mother lost her life, a young boy was taken from this world, and a family was shattered. I just want to say our thoughts, our prayers, our well wishes, they're with Rebecca's loved ones, as not only they're now having to sort through this legal process, but just they have to come to terms with what all of this means. That's all we have for you right now here on Sidebar. Thank you so much for joining us. And as always, please subscribe on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you should get your podcasts. You can also check us out on NBC's Peacock. If you want to follow me, X, Instagram, my News Nation show, Jesse Weber Live, Monday through Friday, 11 p.m. Eastern. See you next time.
You just sit me in this room for hours, bro. What the
A Miami hairdresser found himself in the hot seat after he was arrested for allegedly sending graphic messages and photos to a 15-year-old girl.
She knew the hair appointment wasn't today and that you don't pick up clients. So that's why she assumes the worst between you guys.
And this interrogation video shows his real-time reaction as investigators lay out the damning and disturbing evidence. We're going to make sure you see the biggest moments as this case gets closer and closer to trial. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. So, a hairstylist, formerly known for taking care of high-end clients in Miami and New York City, has gained a very different reputation over the last 9 months. I'm talking about Ryan Pearl. He was arrested last summer for allegedly soliciting one of his teenage clients for sex out in Florida. Now, we have gotten our hands on Pearl's interrogation after his arrest, and I will always say that this evidence, this video evidence is so critical in a criminal case for a jury to see this, because the way somebody responds, this point in time, how they say certain things, it can be very, very revealing, particularly if a defendant takes the stand later on, right, and has to explain how they said or what they said in an interrogation. And again, these are allegations. He's innocent until proven guilty. Now, before we even dig into that, I want to give you a little bit of background on how we got here. Okay, gives you some context. So according to an arrest affidavit that was filed with the court, the alleged victim is a 15-year-old female, a client of Pearl's, who met him when he first styled her hair at age 13. NBC Miami reports that Pearl worked out on Olin Salon in Miami. Now, after getting a report about inappropriate behavior between the alleged victim and Pearl, authorities claim they were able to use the teen's social media accounts to trick him into a meetup. And within hours of that catastrophic alleged decision, Pearl would find himself locked inside a cold interrogation room for hours, called to account for his alleged actions. The arrest report reads, quote, on Saturday, July 26, 2025, the victim's mother responded to the police department to report inappropriate conversation between her 15-year-old daughter and the defendant via social media platforms. The witness was interviewed and explained to detectives while she was home on Sunday at approximately 20:42 hours, she received 2 Apple Wallet notifications. The notifications were for 2 separate transaction deposits from a phone number sent directly to her daughter's account. She then asked her daughter who sent the money, and her daughter told her it was from the hairstylist. Now, that affidavit also includes really disturbing graphic messages allegedly sent by Pearl to the teen on Snapchat, apparently asking her for nude photos, questioning her about sexual experiences, offering her money and gifts. And we'll get more into the specifics of those messages in just a moment, and, again, how maybe compelling of evidence they could be. But the girl's mother spoke anonymously with NBC Miami. Obviously, she doesn't want to identify herself because then the public would know who her daughter is, right? So again, the girl's mother spoke anonymously with NBC Miami after Pearl's arrest, saying, I was upset. I was sick in my stomach. I was so disappointed, how could this happen to my daughter? But I know it happens every day. What is a 37-year-old man doing asking a 15-year-old girl, what size of shoe are you? I want to make you happy. You're pretty. Let's keep this between you and me. As soon as I saw that, I knew his intention was to take advantage of my daughter. You go back to the court documents. So Pearl allegedly convinced this girl to meet up with him. But little did he know, by this point, he was talking to an undercover officer. So between the messages and Pearl allegedly showing up to a location thinking a 15-year-old would be there, investigators knew they had enough to arrest and charge him. From the affidavit, it reads, on Wednesday, July 30th, 2025, during an undercover operation, the defendant drove to the incident location provided by the undercover detective with the intent to pick up the victim to engage in sexual activities. The defendant further purchased electronic cigarettes, commonly known as vapes, for the victim's personal use. At approximately 18:45 hours, the defendant arrived at the incident location driving a 2021 light blue Mercedes-Benz S580. Records check revealed the vehicle is registered to the defendant, so another way to identify him. A felony stop was conducted on the vehicle by the City of Miami Tactical Robbery Unit. The defendant was identified as the driver and sole occupant of the vehicle, meaning he wasn't dropping anybody else off. He was given verbal commands to exit the vehicle and was taken into custody. Now, we confirmed Pearl was charged with use of a computer to seduce, solicit, or lure a child to engage in sexual conduct, traveling to meet a minor for the purpose of sexual contact, 2 counts of electronic transmission of material that's harmful to minors, and contributing to the delinquency of a child. And also, he was apparently charged with possession of cocaine after there was a search of his car, but according to the Miami-Dade County Court docket, that charge appears to have been dropped. So, before Pearl was carted off to jail on July 30th, he was left to stew over how much trouble he might be inside of that interview room. Let's go now to the videotape.
Sir?
Yes.
Hi.
Hi,
Do you need
how
the
are
bathroom, water, anything?
Some water.
Water? In bathroom? I know you yelled. I couldn't hear what you said.
I'm just like.
Frustrated?
When
I know.
Yeah, when is
I
someone
know.
coming in anytime soon, or is there a timeline?
Can we get him water? What's your first and last name?
Ryan Pearl.
Ryan Pearl, Mr. Pearl, can we get him water?
Water?
Yeah,
Please, thank you.
I got to share some exciting news with you. For the first time, we are giving you full access to the evidence. Uncover the private phone calls, the crime scene photos, and the raw interrogations that broke infamous cases wide open.
I'm Dan Abrams, and I want to show you something you can't find anywhere else. On Law and Crime Plus, our case files give you exclusive access to the evidence vaults of today's most infamous cases and breaking true crime stories. Actual crime scene photos, surveillance footage, court testimony, the cases everyone's talking about with the depth no one else provides. The facts are here, the files are open. The conclusions, those are yours to make. Download Law and Crime Plus and stream the full case files now.
So if you want to go beyond the headlines and unlock the evidence and reach your own verdict, check out our case files on Law and Crime Plus now. And you can tell that there may have been some sort of struggle between Pearl and the tactical officers who arrested him. His white t-shirt appears to be in a lot of rough shape there. It's torn around the collar. And the detective comes in, introduces herself, and basically drops the bomb that someone has accused him of sending inappropriate messages to a 15-year-old.
So, Mr. Pearl, I'm Detective Ferrer, okay?
How are you?
Hi. I know, not as good as you are right now. Okay, I know what's going on. It's frustrating, intimidating, but there is a lady that came to the police station just shortly before we met with you, and she made some allegations against you, something that involved her daughter.
Okay.
So it's just allegations what we have right now.
Okay.
So, yes, they are serious because it's a minor and you're an adult, okay? I always offer the person an opportunity to explain themselves. If you have a story to tell me, if you don't, that's fine. Then I just have to take a little bit longer, continue my investigation, and then I make a determination what's going to happen tonight, okay? So it's all up to you. If you want to talk to me today, or if you don't want to talk to me, it's your right, okay?
Who is that person?
I can't talk to you until I read you your rights.
Okay.
Okay? Usually what I do first, I just get basic information, first, last name, date of birth, any contact, phone number if I could reach you.
Sure.
Up to you if you want to give me a home address or not. I can search you up anyways. Just basic stuff. And then fair game, then you could ask me anything you want. Okay? Yeah,
So,
that's fair?
yes.
Let me get your water first.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you so
Bathroom?
much. No, I'm okay at the
You're
moment.
okay?
Yeah,
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Okay, I'll be right back, okay?
Thank you.
So then again, Pearl was left to seemingly ponder just how much trouble he could be in, but then the detective's back. And I want you to pay attention to how she speaks with Pearl, okay? Because she builds up kind of this rapport with him, chatting about things that they have in common, including that they both come from immigrant families, both lived in New Jersey for a time. This is very strategic. This is a way to bring those defenses down, get somebody to be comfortable, maybe as a way for them to admit something, be more open. Take a look.
Where do you work or what do you do for a living?
I'm a hairdresser.
You're a hairdresser?
Yeah.
You have your own business?
Just independent. I was
Yeah.
about to start mine actually.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good for you. And how many years have you been doing hair? Like
Well, I dropped out of high school when I was 15.
here in Miami?
No.
No? New Jersey?
New Jersey. Yeah.
Mm.
When I was 15, so I'm.
What happened?
Over 20. My mom was. Sad story, but my mom was very sick, had cancer 3 times. She couldn't work.
Mm.
I didn't go to school. I couldn't
Sorry
really.
to hear that.
Yeah, no, it's okay. There wasn't much money, so I had to. She was staying in school or making money
Yeah.
for her. We were on like food stamps and shit, so it's like.
So was I.
We
Your
just-
car is safe, okay?
Yeah.
Just want to let you know. So now, I have to ask you.
My wallet and stuff is all in there too. I just want.
Oh, I think the officer has it here. There's some stuff of yours outside, yeah. I have to ask you, don't get offended, okay?
Yeah.
Are you under the influences of any drugs or alcohol right now? I know I can see it, but I have to ask you.
Under the
So no
Dasani.
drugs? This is Dasani water? Okay. Is it good? You like cold water? Hot?
Dasani's a
Fine.
tough one, but.
Yeah, what do you drink? Yes? Why? Sorry, you should have told me. What's Miami Police Department? I don't think I have many selections.
I appreciate anything. Thank you. I'm just messing with you.
No bathroom yet?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Thank you.
So I have to say I treated you well and I gave you water, okay?
Yeah.
I don't have food, but I'm also hungry.
No, you're good.
Okay, so yes, you're absolutely right. They detained you, okay? There are some allegations that someone made against you.
Just a question though. For the detaining, was it necessary to pull guns out on me?
It's a safety process. I'm sorry. It's our departmental orders. If they're going to detain someone in a vehicle, we don't know if you have any weapons. But that's a question you're more than welcome. Who's she?
Whatever that vehicle was, crashed into my car. So.
We take care of all of that. Don't worry about that. After that, you can sit down with my supervisor and we'll handle all that, okay?
Okay.
We don't just damage things just because and leave you like that. Don't worry about that. I know it's a nice car. It's a beautiful car.
Thank you very much.
Okay, now they finally get down to what we're talking about here, why Pearl is there. But first, he has to decide whether he's going to speak with her.
In order for me to ask you any questions, you have to agree to talk to me. Then after we start talking, I tell you the allegations, and then you can ask me any questions you want.
Sure.
I don't like lying. I'm going to tell you the truth right now because I will tell you later on that I did tell you the truth. And I just want to know what's going on, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not here to lie to you either. So yes, if there is a crime and we do talk about it and anything that the mom told me today, you agree to or you tell me yes, that's exactly what happens, then I have to review everything that transpired between you guys, and then I will let you know what's going to happen after that, okay?
So am I staying here tonight?
I can't tell you that right now until we pass this, because I need to know what you're going to say to me, okay? Remember, one person has a story and the other person has another story.
Right.
This is the sexual battery unit, so we do have always adults, men and women, that come here and say something. It doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to believe everything unless there's something else to that, okay?
Right.
So again, it's all up to you. I'm not here to lie to you, to convince you to talk to me. You can talk to me, say, yes, detective, I want to talk to you, or no, detective, I don't want to talk to you today, and then I walk out, and then I gather everything, I talk to my supervisor, and then I make a decision, okay? Do you understand? I want to go home too. You know how long I've been here? Since 5 in the morning. Okay. Do you wear glasses or anything? If I give you the form, can you read it out loud for me?
Sure.
Okay, and then at the end, it's question 1 and question 2, and then we'll see what we do, okay? I'll start from the top, and you need to read it out loud for me, okay? I need to make sure that you understand.
Do you want me to read it out loud?
Yes, please.
You have the right to remain silent. Anything you can say will be used against you in the court of law. You have the right to talk to a lawyer for advice before you ask any questions. You have the right to have an attorney with you during the questioning. If you cannot afford to hire an attorney, one will be appointed to you to represent before any questioning.
You're stuck somewhere?
If you wish, sorry.
It's okay.
You can decide at any time to exercise these rights and not answer it or make any statements.
And then this one, say it's yes or no. You
I understand that each of these rights I have explained to you.
do you? Do you understand everything you
I
read?
do, yes.
Okay.
So if I'd like to have a lawyer here?
So if you do have a lawyer, we can, within a reasonable amount of time, yes, I can reach out and have them come. Within a reasonable amount of time, so that means that they could be available in the next hour. And can't keep you here for so many hours either, just like that. So, within a reasonable time. We are in downtown Miami.
I don't have one that...
You don't?
Offhand, I would have to make calls.
Okay. It's up to you. You don't have to talk to me. You want to talk to me, you can. If you don't want to talk to me, I'm not going to trick you with any questions.
No, I
It's just,
understand
I
that.
wanted to tell you what the allegations are, and then you could tell me what's going on. It's up to you.
Okay. But, so you're saying that I couldn't have a lawyer here? They would have to be here at a certain time, and I would have to...
If you have a lawyer that you want me to contact, like let's say, you know, John Paul, I
Right.
don't know, I'm just giving you a name.
No, I understand.
Then I could just look him up and call him, or I could bring you my work phone and you can call him.
Right.
And then it's up to John Paul if he's going to respond and be here with you. And then
Yeah,
if he says no, then it's up to you if you want to talk to me today or no.
So what do you mean if I want to talk to you today? If I don't want to talk to you today, then what happens?
Sir, I have questions to ask.
No,
you,
I'm
okay?
just, I know, I'm just
you-
exercising.
Yeah, it's just questions I need to ask you.
I
can't.
understand that.
I can't just come and tell you, hey, they told me all of this. Are you
No.
gonna talk to me, yes or no? I already
I
told you there are some serious allegations that a young lady reported in reference to her daughter.
Okay.
Something transpired today. They had an argument, and that's where they ended up coming over here, and that's where we are. Okay.
Okay.
And that's why
Sure, you
they
could
gave me
ask
your name, and then
Okay.
that's what happened.
Okay, you can ask me.
Huh?
You could ask me.
Then you gotta give me permission
sorry.
here. It's okay. So it's yes or no, and then you sign, and then I sign. And that's a yes, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you check it? Thank you.
Yeah.
Witness. And just so we put the time and date. 7:30, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mr. Pearl. So, this young mom came in today. Her name is Miss. Do you know who she is? And that's at the end. Spelled different. Yes, she's 44 years old. She does have a daughter, okay? And apparently today they had an argument because the daughter was coming to meet with you, and the mom didn't approve of that. So I don't know if you guys had any plans to hang out. If she did mention to me that you guys have a hair appointment this week, I think, coming up. So the mom was, what she told me that she knew the hair appointment wasn't today, and that you don't pick up clients. So that's why she assumed the worst between you guys. And that's how everything started. Her daughter's name is... Are you familiar with her?
Yeah, I know who.
Okay, so how
Did I meet her?
Yes, how do you know her?
Her... I guess it's her father's girlfriend's...
I never met a father. I don't know.
Yeah.
So
her
it's the her father's
girlfriend's?
girlfriend or girlfriend?
Sorry, yeah. Girlfriend.
Girlfriend? Okay.
Yeah.
They would be what, Miss?
No.
No?
No,
Somebody else. Do you remember who that person is?
Her name is... She was a client of mine, and
Okay.
then she introduced me to... Yeah.
And who's A child or an adult?
Adult.
Okay. Oh, that's right, 'cause she's the girlfriend.
Of
I don't
of
know
the father.
I don't know much the family.
Yeah.
Like.
No, I understand that.
Girlfriend of father. Okay.
Yeah.
So kind of like her stepmom.
Right.
So she introduced you to a.
Right.
And then she became your client.
Yes, and then
Okay.
recently.
When did? When was the first time you had her as
Over a
your client?
year ago, maybe.
Okay, over a year ago. Okay.
Yeah.
So over in approximately 1 year, she's been your client how many times?
Maybe 2 or 3 times.
Okay.
I
So
don't-
if
yeah,
you
I
see a
don't-
picture of her, you would identify her.
Yes.
You would know who she is. And okay, so hair. What is it that you do? Like you cut hair?
I do
you
hair
style. You
Hair color, style, yeah.
hair coloring, hair cutting, and hairstyles.
Yeah, I don't
Okay.
haircut, but I do hair color and styling, yeah.
Okay. And the mom said that she did drop her off one time. So you remember the mom or no?
Yes. She actually made an appointment with me.
Okay. When are you supposed to have her?
I don't remember when it
No?
was, but my assistant took the appointment.
Okay. So that's what's going on. So
Okay. Yeah.
what's going on with her? How do you communicate with her? What were the plans today? Why? Because she was crying, so I really,
Yeah.
it was hard for me to communicate with her. So what happened between you today?
Well, let's just start from the other day, the last time I
What-
saw her when the mom came in.
Okay. Right, because they mentioned that that you did her hair recently, right?
Right, so I did her hair
Okay.
recently. She reached out to me saying, like, she had her hair messed up in Dubai and she wanted me to fix it.
Okay, so she did her hair in Dubai and was upset.
Now I have to be clear about something. For the next 25 minutes, the audio on that interrogation video that was provided to us by police is muted. It's not unusual. It's a way to protect an investigation or a victim, particularly when you're talking about someone this young. But we do see Pearl making, various hand motions, sometimes rubbing his eyes, pulling his torn t-shirt, kind of up to cover his face. And we maybe have a pretty good idea of what they're talking about during that time, because you go to the arrest affidavit as well as local reporting, and according to NBC Miami, Pearl allegedly admitted to buying a vape for this girl and asking her to be his girlfriend. He also allegedly admitted to sending her nude photos of himself and traveling to meet her. And Pearl was also likely confronted with some of the incredibly alleged graphic messages he sent to this girl whose social media accounts at this point were being monitored by an undercover officer. Purported messages like, "You're mad, cool, and fun to talk to. Just didn't know you cared that I said because I'm older. It's not that easy to get pregnant like that. Maybe you'll send me more selfies now? Okay, I'll bring you money too, babe, so you have money to do stuff with your friends." And according to Miami police, Pearl had allegedly sent a photo of himself wearing swimming trunks and then multiple images of his genitals. Quote, "I am very shy, please don't. Do you care that I'm 15? No, sorry, I'm just new to this, please don't get mad." Pearl also reportedly sent a message that he was 28 years old when he was really 37. When the interrogation audio resumes, the detective's demeanor has changed, okay? She's no longer friendly, she's no longer accommodating. You can hear what could be described as annoyance with him in her voice.
I have to do my job
But
too.
calling them would do what for me?
I'm just saying, so they could be aware that you're getting arrested and they could help you when you're over there. I'm giving you that.
How could they help me?
Listen,
I'm just
I'm
curious.
just asking you if you want me to call someone.
No,
That's it. You're
no.
asking me questions I don't know the answer
No,
to.
no,
I
I'm-
don't know.
I'm not
I
trying
don't
to
work
argue
for the
with-
jail,
I
honey.
understand.
I don't know.
I know, but I'm just.
And I've never been arrested, so I don't know.
I know. I'm
I
just.
don't know. I'm being honest. I don't know.
You
Usually,
know,
what
let
I
me
do
ask
is that if I'm getting arrested and I tell my brother, hey, be ready. I'm gonna call you from jail, or hey, detective, get a phone number from my phone. I don't know my friend's number, and I could do that for you. But that's it. Like, I can't make arrangements for you. That's not. We don't offer that. Okay. Do you need bathroom break? The faster I get out of here and do the paperwork, the faster all of this goes through.
Yeah.
Okay, and I want you to see a judge in the morning. Okay?
So I'm gonna be there overnight.
Yeah, probably like a few hours. It's early hours, okay? It's a few hours. Okay?
A few hours. It's 7 o'clock.
No, it's not. It's almost 10 or 11.
Right now?
Mm-hmm. Okay? Do you need a bathroom break?
Please.
We need more water, let me
If
know.
I need to call a friend, but what about if he doesn't answer?
We could leave a message, and then I could have him call me. No? No family member, anybody? Think, and I'm gonna come back and then tell me, detective, I know an email or name, okay? Again, I'm just offering, okay?
Thank you.
Because then when you get to the jail, you don't have a number to call because I have your phone. Okay?
Thanks.
Now, another officer comes to take Pearl to the bathroom, and there is yet another opportunity for him to talk about his New York, New Jersey roots.
You just need to be handcuffed to the front. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. From New York? I am, man. What part of New York? Brooklyn. Brooklyn? What part of Brooklyn? Bright Beach. Ah. From Queens, Jamaica.
So he's uncuffed when he gets back to the interview room, and this is where he sits and sits and sits, and at times he makes comments out loud about his detention.
How can you just sit me in this room for hours, bro? What the bro? Freezing.
So after about 3 hours, Pearl is there when an officer finally returns to take him to jail.
Ryan, do me a favor, stand up for me for a second. They're on the way to try to get you a blanket or something. Thank you so much. I know. Can you try to stand up? I don't know if that's right. Just yeah. This is just for our record, okay? Just put your hands on and look straight ahead, okay? All right. Do you have any questions about where you're going to the jail?
Yeah, she was saying maybe I could try to contact someone.
Not from here, right? When you get to the jail, you're allowed to make as many calls as you want.
Yeah, but if I don't have the number, can I get a number?
Where do you want to get the number out of?
My phone.
Okay. Which one?
The black phone.
The black phone?
Please.
Okay. Give me a second, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, now after his arrest on July 30th, Pearl was charged with those sex offenses that I mentioned before. He was held until a bond hearing the next day, and this is where he appeared before Judge Mindy Glazer.
Sir, can you afford to hire an attorney?
I'm not sure how much an attorney would cost.
Well, do you own your home?
No, I don't.
All right.
I don't believe he qualifies.
Okay, you don't qualify. You have, do you have the financial means to hire an attorney?
It would be hard because I work on commission based. So
Do you have any savings?
not much, no.
All right, I'll appoint the public defender's office for you for purposes of this first appearance hearing, subject to financial verification. So I need a moment to review the arrest affidavit for probable cause.
Yeah.
All right, I had a chance to review the arrest affidavit. So Ms. Baez, do you want to say anything?
Yes, Your Honor. Based on the four corners of the A form, the state would be requesting an extremely elevated bond. This is a concern that we are having with regards to the defendant, both for the safety of the victim in this case. This is someone he has known since she was 13 years old. She is now 15, so he's at least known her for 2 years, knows her travels, knows her whereabouts. So we are concerned for the safety of the community, specifically the victim. We would be requesting an elevated bond in the amount of $500,000 with a GPS total lockdown component. Your Honor, the state is also concerned that this defendant is in fact a flight risk. As Your Honor mentioned before, he is originally from New Jersey, and it appears he has clients all over the United States. So it's our concern, based on the information that we have, that he does travel to do the hair, and the hairstylist for, I guess, A-list celebrities. So it's our concern that he has the means to travel outside of the state of Florida, and
He's going to travel to cut hair.
Yes, Your Honor, in place
style hair. So how is that a danger to the community?
Well, considering that his clients can range from apparently 13-year-olds to whatever age, we are concerned that the same way that he was engaging in sending photos of his penis to this 13 or 15-year-old girl and attempting to pay her for sex, or attempting to gift her items and also ask for sex, we are concerned that he may have other clients that are underage that unfortunately may be subjected to the same kind of behavior by this defendant.
I understand. Okay, thank you. Ms. Corey, did you want to say anything?
Judge, Mr. Pearl has no objection to only having adult clients. That's not an issue for him, Judge.
So the judge lowered Pearl's bond to $25,000, which apparently he posted. As part of his release, he's not allowed to have any contact with the alleged victim. According to the Miami-Dade County Court docket, Pearl could be back in court as soon as April 1st. We will see what role this interrogation video may play at an upcoming trial. That's all we have for you right now here on Sidebar, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. And as always, please subscribe on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. You can also check us out on NBC's Peacock as well. If you want to follow me, X, Instagram, my News Nation show, Jesse Weber Live, Monday through Friday, 11 p.m. Eastern. I'll see you next time, everybody.
दुनिया दो दिन दी बंदा दे मौत दमाल दुनिया दो दिन दी दुनिया दो दिन दी बंदा दे मौत दमाल दुनिया दो दिन दी आए कर तू कुछ ख्याल दुनिया दो दिन दी सुल्तान भी आए बड़े बड़े सुल्तान भी आए ओढ़क जा बिच खाक समाए ओढ़क जा बिच खाक समाए आए हो गए ख्वाब ख्याल दुनिया दो दिन दी आए हो गए ख्वाब ख्याल दुनिया दो दिन दी दुनिया दो दिन दी बंदा वे मौत दमाल दुनिया दो दिन दी ऊंचे लम्हे महल बना दे ऊंचे लम्हे महल बना दे दगा फरेब ते जुल्म कमा दे दगा फरेब ते जुल्म कमा दे हाय कुछ नहीं खड़दे नाल दुनिया दो दिन दी हाय कुछ नहीं खड़दे नाल दुनिया दो दिन दी ओ दुनिया दो दिन दी बंदा दे मौत दमाल दुनिया दो दिन दी दुनिया देंदी दुख बतेरे दुनिया देंदी दुख बतेरे वीरा कोलू वीर नखेड़े वीरा कोलू वीर नखेड़े आए मावा तू विछड़े लाल दुनिया दो दिन दी आए मावा तू विछड़े लाल दुनिया दो दिन दी वो दुनिया दो दिन दी बंदा वे मौत दमाल दुनिया दो दिन दी सुख दे सजना सारे संगी सुख दे सजना सारे संगी नस जांदे जद आवे तंगी नस जांदे जद आवे तंगी हाय कोई नहीं गम दा प्याल दुनिया दो दिन दी ओह कोई नहीं गम दा प्याल दुनिया दो दिन दी हसना रोना गम लाचारी हसना रोना गम लाचारी आज मेरी कल तेरी बारी आज मेरी कल तेरी बारी हाय कंजरी दी मिसाल दुनिया दो दिन दी हाय कर तू कुछ ख्याल दुनिया दो दिन दी ओ दुनिया दो दिन दी बंदा बे मौत दा माल दुनिया दो दिन दी ओह कर तू कुछ ख्याल दुनिया दो दिन दी पुत वे तुड़ानी मिट्टी दा वीरा पुत तुड़ानी मिट्टी दा वीरा अपना आप संभाल बशीरा अपना आप संभाल बशीरा हाय मिट्टी मिट्टी दा माल दुनिया दो दिन दी हाय मिट्टी मिट्टी दा माल दुनिया दो दिन दी हाय कर तू कुछ ख्याल दुनिया दो दिन दी हाय कर तू कुछ ख्याल दुनिया दो दिन दी ओ दुनिया दो दिन दी बंदा मिट्टी दा माल दुनिया दो दिन दी हाय कर तू कुछ ख्याल दुनिया दो दिन दी हाय कर तू कुछ ख्याल दुनिया दो दिन दी दुनिया दो दिन दी बंदा बे मौत दमाल दुनिया दो दिन दी दुनिया दो दिन दी बंदा बे मौत दमाल दुनिया दो दिन दी आए कर तू कुछ ख्याल दुनिया दो दिन दी खाक समाए ओढ़क जा बिच खाक समाए